Hey there, beer tubers! Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Macro Crappy Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at one macro crappy beer that's extra special that recently just showed up in our ND liquor stores. Thankfully I didn't have to buy this one myself. Heist Almighty was nice enough to toss me a bottle when he bought a 12-pack for himself and his wife to drink and fill that one hole in his long list, longer than mine, list of beers that he's drank. So, without further ado, I've already opened this, but I'm going to take a look at Michelob Ultra. Now, it really doesn't say a whole lot. It says exceptional light beer, 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, 4% ABV, 1.5 grams of protein, not a significant source of saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, fiber, sugars, vitamin A, C, calcium, or iron. Yeah, so it's actually got a nutritional value label on the back, which basically confirms what many people are thinking, that it's soda water, and it's even lighter than most healthier beverages. So, from what I've heard, I think this came out in 2003, at least that's what Ronald the Riot said on his review of this, and it's a popular beer amongst people who are looking to watch their waistline. I don't want to sound sexist, but he said it was a lot of women drink this particular beer, and in the States they have multiple flavors of this. I'd have to see it to believe it. When I poured it, I couldn't believe just how pale this thing looked. It looks like a really, really light, like diet ginger ale. Either that or kind of like one of those mineral water drinks, like vitamin water or something. It's got a little bit of a coloring in it, and it's supposed to be like a lemon flavored or an apple flavored. Ends up looking extremely pale, but has a subtle amount of color. And that's exactly what this looks like, because it's so pale it's almost clear. There's just a little bit of color to it. So, when I poured it, it had about a half finger of head, which dissipated quickly. It's got some nice film to the sides, which looks half decent, but it really doesn't look all that inviting or appetizing, to be honest, and I don't think it's going to form any decent lasting lacing. Give it a sniff. There's a touch of a sugary sweet malt, just a very faint touch, and a grassy, herbal kind of hop smell to it. It almost smells like it's got a subtle amount of apple juice to it. Little grassy apple juice, like a Granny Smith or something. Very, very faint, but it's actually a lot stronger than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to get any smell off of this at all. And what I get for a smell is, I'm not going to call it half decent, but it's more than I was expecting. Other than that, it just smells like any other normal macro lager, to be honest. There's even like a little subtle amount of like a flowery, fruity, like a red apple kind of smell, which is possibly indicative of using rice as an adjunct. And there's no ingredients listed on the back of this thing to approve it, so who knows. It's made by it's an Anheuser-Busch product, but it's made by Labatt up here, so, it could very well have lots of rice in it. Anyway, let's give it a taste. It's watery. There's a subtle amount like of toasted grain or corn taste to the back. But other than that, you're getting this little bit of like a cardboardy or papery club soda flavor to the back. There's a subtle amount of sweetness through it, the body, and just a very, very faint sweetness, and it has almost like a little bit of an apple juice, a light apple juice. Other than that, it's incredibly watery. Like obnoxiously watery. Blah. That's really watery. It's perhaps even more watery than Coors Light. And that was one of my least favorite macro style beers. Boy. Forcing myself to drink it to this point, that's incredibly watery, and you might as well be drinking dishwater. It's not that, I mean, it's got probably a little bit more flavor than I was quite frankly expecting from something like this, but to be totally honest, it's not much and probably avoidable. I mean, perhaps even Molson 67 would offer a better product than this, and most certainly Moosehead's Cracked Canoe would be better. I think Moosehead's Cracked Canoe is around the same ballpark as far as calories go. It's got a much more flavorful product, even if that's not really saying much. And to be totally honest, I wonder if I've got another beer around here that's got the calories written on it. I don't think I do. Got a couple sitting on the counter. And I'm thinking, like, at 95 calories for a 355 milliliter bottle, there's almost no point. 341 milliliter bottle, sorry. There's almost no point. You might as well take the bullet, you know, take the extra 20, 30 calories and drink a decent beer. That's got to be my opinion of it. It's not really worth the time, not really worth the investment in spending the extra amount of money over a cheap budget beer in order to get yourself something that claims to be low calorie, because I just think there's really no point. Anyway, I'm going to give this about a 1 out of 5. I don't recommend it at all. If you want to try just to fill in that hole in your review list like I did and Heist Almighty did, other than that, I just avoid it and leave it on the shelf. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review. Hope you weren't too offended by this review. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.